Joseph Grenny gives the best definition of crucial conversations. It's a discussion between two or more people where stakes are high, opinions vary, and emotions run strong. What has been your experience with confrontational conversations that have to be made? Are you the type of person that is known to avoid confrontation? Are you confrontational but struggle delivering your message in a palatable way? I can remember a situation in the past where I had to deliver my thoughts on an unhealthy relationship with my work teammates due to gossip. I distinctly remember how uncomfortable I was and how I made excuses to postpone addressing it. When I finally mustered up the courage, it was a defining moment with those work relationships, and it helped me to remember that the conversations that we should be having are the difficult ones. Hi, my name is Candace Buchheister, and I'm a part of Vituity's leadership and development team. I asked Rebecca Burgess, Vituity's Director of Business Integration and Knowledge Management, about crucial conversations, one of the 3 topics we're offering in the Intentional Conversation series. I first asked Rebecca, why are we avoiding, sometimes avoiding at all cost, these important, difficult conversations?
To me, 100%. The reason that we avoid having these really difficult conversations is based out of fear. And I think sometimes it might be an indicator that the more fear you have, maybe the more reason you need to have one of these conversations. I have a couple of examples. One, when I was really young, I was working at another company, and I had a coworker who was talented and popular, and he would sometimes say inappropriate things. And it bothered me. I could tell it bothered other people, and I never said anything. I wanted to just ignore it because I was afraid of being unliked or shunned. And he ended up getting fired for saying one of those inappropriate things. I'm glad he learned that lesson. But if I had had the courage and had spoken up earlier, I think he could have been on the same learning curve without the consequence of getting fired. So that was something that I regretted for a long time and still do. Another example is I was working very closely with 2 leaders who were very high up in the organization. And I was new, and they had this bickering, bantering communication style with each other in meetings, and it was awful. It made all of the other meeting participants cringe while we were sitting there. And because of their positions, nobody felt like they could say anything. We all talked to each other about it, but nobody spoke up to them. And as I said, I was new, I was junior, I was in a junior position, but I really cared for each of them, and I respected everybody that we were meeting with. So I screwed up my courage, told my husband that I might lose my job, and set up a meeting to talk to them about this problem. I thought that they were going to be resistant or angry, or, I had this, who are you to tell me about this? But instead, they were actually really unaware of the effect that they were having on the other people in the room. They were thankful, and they changed their behavior. I think the thing that we don't learn is, number one, to acknowledge the conversations you should be having, to get that awareness. This is a situation where I should be having one of these conversations. And then you can educate yourself with resources. There are lots of things about having really difficult conversations out there. And you can also prepare yourself with some valuable phrases to use and practice. You can practice doing somewhat difficult conversations, but for things that are lower impact than walking in with 2 high-level executives.
So what are we risking by not making these crucial conversations?
You can measure the health of a relationship, the health of a team, of a corporation, by looking at the lag time between when we identify a problem and when we discuss it. In the context of your life, you're risking having an inauthentic, less meaningful life if you avoid crucial conversations. We start thinking at a very young age that we have to choose between telling the truth and keeping a friend, between being candid and being liked. But if you don't talk about problems you identify, you will act them out. we end up avoiding people or working around them. Crucial conversations don't damage relationships. They accelerate the levels of trust in relationships. They create a sense of connection with people.
So how can we best prepare for crucial conversations?
I think starting out by reframing yourself, put yourself in the shoes of the person you want to have the crucial conversation with, and ask yourself, if someone thought this about me or my behavior, would I want to know? I think your answer would be yes, even if it's painful. So then the second thing to do is articulate your why. People in these conversations don't become defensive because of what you say. They become defensive because of why they think you're saying it. When you fully develop your why, because I care about you, because people are starting to not trust you, because I know you care about this project and your behavior could derail it. This could be your North Star for the crucial conversation. Start actually developing what you want to say by asking yourself, how can I be 100% honest and 100% respectful? You can bullet out the honest and respectful things you want to say.
Word choice is especially important during crucial conversations. What word tools can we use?
You need to be careful, 100% honest and 100% respectful. Another way to think of that concept is the velvet hammer. Be blunt, but not brutal. Actual words that can help include, I've noticed and I was wondering, what's the likelihood? Really, tell me more. These are all things that can open up a conversation so that it's not just one person saying, I'm right, this is what you need to do. Let me try this out on a crucial conversation that I wish I had, that I didn't do. I've noticed that you think it's funny sometimes to say things that are a little edgy and inappropriate. And I was wondering if you noticed the effect that it has on people. It offends me, and I think it offends other people too. What's the likelihood of you stopping saying things like that? Really, tell me more. I wish I'd had those tools to have that crucial conversation. It would have done some good. Another thing just to keep in mind is sometimes when you have these conversations, they don't go like on a script. So if you say something that you didn't want to say in one of these, just remember you can always say, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Here's a practical way to start. Take notice of the conversations you should be having. How much is it costing you to not have the conversation? How can you be 100% honest while being 100% respectful? One helpful book is called Difficult Conversations. Let's focus on improving the health of a relationship, the health of our team, even the health of Ituity as a whole by improving the lag time between identifying and discussing problems.